Hey guys, today in this video I want to talk about my depression during relapse and and how I kind of got out of it, how I kind of like dealt with it, because for me it was going down, 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 and during my relapse I think the most depressed I was actually not that long ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, when I was just locked in my room 4 days. Didn't want to come out, didn't want to go anywhere, kept eating and just getting upset and eating and super, super depressed. How I got out of it was actually with the help of my mom. She noticed that I was kind of like falling and not falling like physically, but like mentally. And I was also going through some stuff that was causing also part of my depression, like some just personal tough times, but definitely the binges and isolating myself didn't help, and my relapse definitely was the biggest cause of the depression. And I think that I was getting into the most depressed state I've ever been, like to the point where I don't want to do anything. I would just lay down all day, eat, come back, lay down, do nothing at all. No school, no reading, no writing, no nothing. Like not even sitting on my phone, just looking up at the ceiling or at the floor. Turning on sad music, listening to sad music all day long, crying and eating and crying again and then eating again. So that was probably the most depressed I've ever been, or like the most like signs of depression. Like in a way that like I've been like kind of depressed before, but not to the point where I would do like absolutely nothing, to the point where I just don't want to even exist, to the point where I just don't feel needed. I just felt like, first of all, I felt awful about myself, because you know when you binge you feel already awful about yourself enough. Plus I'm not doing anything, I'm not being productive, I'm not making a video, I'm not reading. I felt awful. And so I was just locked in my room. I would cry, and then my mom came in. She kind of talked to me, both about everything, kind of, and I started talking to her more and more. She kind of became almost like my therapist, talking about my personal problem as well as my kind of like relapse. Mostly about my personal problem as well, because like it was really bothering me, and I had no one to talk to, and so I was just talking to her. And then she was like, okay, well, let's go to the pool and just sit there. And I was kind of like, you know, when you're depressed, you don't want to go anywhere. You kind of don't. And my depression was lasting a long time, so it wasn't just 4 days, but just those 4 days were the lowest part of my depression, because I didn't want to exist, because I didn't do anything. I was locked in my room all day, didn't want to see anyone, go anywhere. Like, it was the worst like part of it, because it was kind of falling down already a whole month. Like it was just slowly, like I would isolate myself more, I would feel sad more often, I wouldn't want to see people more often, I wouldn't hang out with friends like more often, like I just kind of like, no, I don't need this, I don't want this, like blah blah blah. So you know what I mean. But those 4 days were when I was absolutely at the worst, and was like, I don't even know why I'm here. Like, it was kind of like that. Which I'm sure if you guys were depressed or feeling even alone, you might know what I mean. I'm sure some of you can relate. So, my mom was like, you know, let's go to the pool and stuff. And I kind of was just put on my big baggy shirt, shorts, flip-flops. And I was just like, nah, I don't really want to go anywhere. And so I went out and we went to the pool, and I felt better. And my brother, the reason we went there was because my little brother wanted to play, and you know, he's not that little actually, he's bigger than me. He's 12 though, so he's still my little brother. And we went to the pool, and he was playing with this ball, and he wanted to play with my mom, but my mom didn't want to get wet because it was like a football for the pool that they would throw back and forth, and he wants to start playing football, and he actually joined a team, so yay for him. But he really wanted to play with my mom, and she was kind of like, I don't want to get wet because you know it's like soaking wet and stuff. And I was kind of like, I'll play with you, I don't really care. I'm like, you know, I'm like, I feel dead inside anyways. So I'm like just like a zombie, and I'm just like, okay, let's just do this thing. I didn't care about getting wet, didn't care about getting my hair wet, didn't care about anything. My hair was actually probably like a mess. You know what I mean? Like, because I was in my room, like I had an old, just baggy t-shirt. That's what I came out with. I didn't care what anybody thought about me. I was just felt, I felt just like a slob. And we started playing, and I kind of was like, oh, you know, at least I'm making him, giving him a fun time, so I'm not like a waste of space or anything like that. And we started playing back and forth, and I was kind of like, oh, this is fun. And then my mom was like, oh, we know we're gonna have to leave soon, and because she had to go to church to volunteer. And I was like, I was like, interesting. And she was like, do you want to come with me? And I was like, why not? I'm already like out the house. I don't want to go back in and binge again and stare at the ceiling, so it'll be better. I was also very sweaty and kind of gross because after binges, you know how you get those like sweats after binges? Like, I can't even explain it. It's just like water. It's not even like, it's different than sweat when you work out. It's more like water coming out from you, and it's just gross. So I was kind of like, you know, I was like, well, yeah, I'll just go with you. And I was like, do you want to stop by Starbucks and just get a coffee? And, you know, just kind of, I don't know, just, she loves coffee, by the way, and I like coffee, so we have all this, like, coffee and tea time together and just chat and stuff. It's our thing, every day, multiple times in a day. And then we go work on our own thing and then come back, and it's like a, you know, there and here thing. So then we went, and on our way there, I drove. I was like, let me drive. And I drove to the Starbucks. We got to Starbucks, went to the church, and then we started working there. And what we did was we blew up these, like, and I'll post on my Instagram, actually, a picture. So you guys go there and check it out. If I don't forget. I hope I don't forget. If I do forget, please someone DM me and remind me where's the picture from the volunteering, if you guys are interested. But I was blowing up these like beach balls because they were decorating for the summer for the kids like area, and we literally just got a bunch of them. And we would also like file some papers before, but like our main job for that day was just pumping up. And we had these like little air blowing things. It wasn't a pump, it was like a machine where we would put them on, and it was, and I felt so much better. I can't even, like, and the reason why I'm describing what I was doing was because it's so, like, it's like blowing up beach balls. Like, it's nothing amazing. It's nothing big. It's not a big project. It's not like, you know, you created something or invented something. It's so simple, but it made me feel so much better. Like, it was like so much better. Plus the people there were so nice and so positive. I felt still kind of like sluggish and bad, but I was like, I need to get back up. I can't, because if I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna probably gain a bunch of weight, be unhealthy, keep being depressed, completely isolate myself, because at that point I didn't want to even go to the gym. I would skip gym days, you know, and I love exercising and stuff. I would just do nothing. And I was like, okay, I was like, if I just continue, I could try to go back up, or I could just keep going down. So to be honest, to get out of depression, it's on you. It's all on you. I would suggest to go out and just do anything. Go to the pool, go to a friend's house, do your nails. And I would suggest to do it with someone, because I did it with my mom and we could talk and laugh. Because if you do it alone, I think you get back into your thoughts like, I just want to go home and just lay there and do nothing and just be depressed. That's kind of how it was like for me. So with her, I would talk and we would laugh, and then she was like, you know, isn't it good that you came? And I was like, yeah. I was like, maybe I could volunteer on the Sundays too. And she's like, yeah. And then we talked to the lady in charge there, and she was all positive and stuff, and I just had so much positive feelings from it. And I think that's what really helps you get out of depression. Those positive feelings, little positive feelings, because from depression, things you do nothing, you binge eat or whatever, or don't eat. You what else? Listen to sad music. All of those are negative emotions and negative feelings. Because obviously, if you binge, you feel sluggish. If you restrict, you feel deprived and angry or whatever. Also, negative feeling. If you stare at the ceiling thinking about why you're even alive, that's gonna lead to suicidal thoughts, and obviously that's a very negative feeling, become a very negative outcome as well. And if you're listening to sad music, that only motivates you to do nothing, to continue to be depressed, and to also could lead to suicidal thoughts, deeper depression, longer depression, more binge eating or restricting or whatever it is. So it's kind of like a cycle, and it's just not good. So getting those positive feelings, turning on a humidifier with some lavender oil, turning on some, and this is things that helped me, like this is things I do, turning on some tropical, like I would turn on like beach sounds, and there's like on my computer, like I could even show you right now, because okay, so let me just show you guys, because why not. So I would just go on YouTube, beach sounds. So there. This is actually the one I watched when I was trying to feel better. I liked this one. So it's like this. Yeah. And you can hear, I don't know how you could hear it there, but here it's nice. And you could do the same thing, and with a background. Like my mom says she likes to do a train, where she could see like a train, just like you're in a train or something, or like a cafe, or things like that. And just turn that on, get a notebook and write down stuff, or just color. Like I actually have also, okay, oh, that was not pretty. Sorry guys, I did not mean to go up close that bad. Okay. I have this coloring book it's for adults. I'm not a kid. And this is what I would do. I would do this and this. It's more relaxing than you think. And I'm not an artist, okay guys? I can't draw. So for me, it was very, very relaxing, and I just loved it. So yeah, that's kind of what I did, and I would also go to places like the library, Starbucks, and just sit there and do my work there, because you could see other people. And the other thing with depression, I would definitely suggest to be surrounded by people. You don't have to talk to them, you don't have to know them, but just being surrounded, sorry guys, I'm not like comfortable, but being surrounded by other people, like at a library, at a store, just looking around, talking to people, meeting new people, definitely helps. I would suggest that. But just this, because this brings positivity. All these, like the colors, when you color, it brings positive emotions, and this is kind of proof that I actually do this. So I'm not just saying it. If you're like, you guys go color, and I'm just gonna, whatever. But and they have different like types. The one I use is sorry guys, by the time I open, okay, there, just a random color art for everyone, and this has different stuff in it too. So just like, it's a huge book, and there's a lot of like coloring to do. But like that's what I would do, and I still do it. Even if you're not depressed, this is some good therapy. For me personally, I like it. And if you never tried it, don't judge it until you try it, because I used to think it was like how is that gonna help? But it really does, and I like to especially do that with the background of a movie. Also, movies help. Like if you turn on a positive comedy movie and do some art, or turn on some nice positive music. Like I like to listen to older music, like from the 90s or 80s. A lot of them are more, upbeat and positive sometimes. But just like those, like disco maybe. I don't know, just be creative and try different things. But yeah, I would turn that on, I would color, and I would turn on my diffuser, and it's so relaxing. Or I would turn on this relaxing background and color and my diffuser, and open the windows. If your windows are closed, that's another thing. When I was depressed, I would close all my windows, make it completely dark, no lights, nothing. Like it was darkness, and here and physical and everywhere it was just dark. So make it light, if that makes sense. With light, with positivity. Light literally by turning on the lights, opening the windows, and just feeling better and working on yourself. So this probably is a long video, but this is how I dealt with depression, what I did to kind of get out of it, and I'm still doing to this day. If you are out of depression, that doesn't mean you should just go back to your old habits, because you will just go back to depression. So make sure you keep things up. I mean, obviously, like when you're depressed, you might want to do a little bit more of those kind of activities, but I would definitely suggest to keep it up. Once a day, do something that's kind of like that. If you're religious, maybe having like Bible studies or whatever, depending, like literally whatever you guys can think of that brings positivity in here really helps. Cooking. I did a lot of cooking as well, but cooking in enjoyment, not like kind of like, oh, I have to cook, for myself, like lunch. No, kind of like an enjoyment. Like I would turn on music and make like cookies and just enjoy my time. So just make sure you do things like that. So yoga, some people, exercise does help too, like, but not like in a way of like, oh, I have to burn all the calories I binged on. No, go and actually think about the exercise you're doing and enjoy what you're doing. So if you're going for a walk, enjoy the walk. Think about the weather and not the calories, because if you start thinking about that, it leads to more negative thoughts. So make sure you make it positive, if that makes sense. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you so much. I hope this might help someone. I showed some examples, like literally, and I would love to share more with y'all how I deal with depression, because I did a lot of different things actually, and those are just kind of some of the things. Going outside is another one, especially if the weather's nice. But yeah, just getting out the house and just working on yourself and talking to someone definitely helps. So yeah, I hope this guys might help you, and let me know, and bye.